Hi, I'm Julie Reid from CrossRoads Counseling Centers, and I'm here today to just share with you. And I want to talk about confidence and humility. Now, there's a scripture in Proverbs that says, when pride comes, then comes shame. But with the humble, there's wisdom. And that's Proverbs 11:2. So let's think in terms of ovals for a minute. First, I'm going to draw the godly oval. So we'll just do it in the air. And on the outside, you can think of God, and that's His way. And you can even visualize arrows going around. So at the top of that oval, we will put confidence, wisdom, thankfulness, appreciation, and then down at the bottom, we'll put humility and, well, that's the main word at the bottom. So let's draw then an oval that we get often caught into, and that's the self oval. And at the top, we'll put pride, and down at the bottom, we'll put shame. So you can see that pride and shame are connected, like the scripture says. So we see here at CrossRoads, part of our work with those we meet and have that privilege is to help them move more from the thinking of the self and going into shame and even self-contempt and pride, and moving more to God's way of confidence, wisdom, and humility. I'd like to put this into the form of a story concerning my mother. She lost her mother when she was 9 years old and had a stepmother that she did not get along with. And that was her attitude through her years, is that she was not a good replacement for her own mother. So, at 90 years old, my mother was watching Charles Stanley and saw that he talked about, if you find in yourself that you are bitter, then you could use the empty chair technique, started by Gestalt in theory, and pretend that that person is sitting in the chair and talk to them and confess to them as a way of getting your bitterness out into the open. So here's my mother at 90 years old in her living room all by herself, having both the humility to acknowledge her problem and acknowledge she wanted to get beyond it, and the confidence to apply herself to a technique that she had never heard of. And so she did that, and she asked her stepmother to forgive her. So she just told me about this experience, and knowing that I was a counselor, I could connect with it. And told me that I could just, talk about her whenever I wanted to in that way. And then a few days later, she came to me and said, "Julie, I had the most amazing dream." And you have to understand that my mother loved cookies. She would make and bake cookies as gifts. She allowed herself one cookie every meal. So she said in her dream, her stepmother was walking down her hall in her condo with a platter of cookies, and that my mother, in her dream, reached out, took one, and ate it. So I'm so happy to be able to share that story with you because of it shows me how God responded to her humility to apply herself to that technique and confess, and her confidence to try something new. So here at CrossRoads, we have a mission statement that we were made to be more. And so each of us try to apply ourselves to God's direction in our lives and trying to help us to be more humble and receiving, and then confident and bold in how we reach out to people. And then with people we meet with, we help them to look to God, to work in the humbleness and also the confidence and wisdom, and helping them to reach out to others in their lives with more love. God bless you.